Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, and as has been the story this summer, there's good and there is bad, I'm afraid. Mason Greenwood booted out of the England squad with Phil Foden for breaking quarantine rules, but the positive news, if you want to buy a left back, is that reports from Sevilla saying that a deal effectively has been done with Manchester United for Sergio Reguilon. Sevilla will know about this because they wanted to get him as well. So lots to discuss. Also, interestingly, Portuguese outlets talking about an interest in Telles and also an interest in a Ukrainian. I think he is a Ukrainian left back. Plays for Dynamo Kiev, 21 years of age. Mykolenko. We all know him. So the left back story seems to be developing. We'll talk about that. But look, this summer we've had a few problems. We've had the Harry Maguire story, and obviously that's going to run and run. We've had a few other things going around as well. We've had Paul Pogba with COVID. That's not his fault. But what I'm saying is Manchester United seem to be just attracting bad news at the moment. And look, what I want to say is Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden are about to get dropped by England. This is the story. And if you've not picked up on it, effectively, Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden, pictures have been released by girls who were in their hotel room that they let in with them and broke quarantine rules with the England camp, because of course the England camp is meant to be quarantining because there is a COVID crisis at the moment. They're playing football games, and by bringing people outside into rooms, you break those quarantine rules and you put everybody at risk. It's not about what those girls were doing in that room. For some people, that's going to be the main thing. To me, they're young lads and they've got urges. You know, we've all been there, unless you're not a young lad, but you might be a young girl with those urges, whatever. Whether that's right or wrong, that's not the point. Rules have been put in place by England Football Club, and those two players have broken those rules. That's the disappointing thing. They could have gone out to the local shop and bought a meal deal and come back, and Gareth Southgate finds out from the footage from the local Tesco and they're kicked out the squad. To me, what they've done, obviously that's the factor, but they could have done lots of different things. They could have gone to the local cinema. They could have done loads and different things. The reality is, the disappointing thing is, they've both shown an absolute, utter disrespect for England Football Club and people of England and that squad. And, you know, but they are young. They're young and they're going to make mistakes and they deserve to get dropped. And it's disappointing because I was looking forward to seeing Greenwood tomorrow night. But what I must say about this is for Manchester United Football Club to get a hold of. But I would love to see the press do this equally, because it's Manchester United, because it's Mason Greenwood. It will be all on Mason Greenwood's shoulders. Well, Phil Foden did something there, and there's even rumours that Phil Foden's got a kid. So actually, that's quite, if he's in a relationship with a kid, that's far more irresponsible than Mason Greenwood, who, as we understand, I don't think has a kid or a relationship. But I don't think we need to go down that road anyway. It's not about that. It's about the fact that they've broken quarantine rules and they won't play for England tomorrow. That's it. That's embarrassing for them. It's disappointing for both Manchester City and Manchester United and England, Gareth Southgate, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And from a Manchester United fan point of view, let's get a hold of Mason Greenwood. Because I was on a show last night with the girls on, I forget, hairdryer treatment. And we were talking about Mason Greenwood. And I keep saying he can be anything he wants to be, but I'm not going to put a label on it, because what if he gets a bad injury? Or what if he starts believing his own hype at 18 and doesn't make the progression he's got to make over the next 3 years to be one of the best players in the world? If Mason Greenwood or Phil Foden sit there and think, look at me, I've made it, look at me, I'm brilliant, they won't make it to the level that they can. You've got to put the graft in between 18 and 22, because that's going to be your formative years, and then you're in your prime, and then you live off that for the rest of your years, and you build on that. Look at Ronaldo, look at Messi. You've got to get your head down, not like that. You've got to get your head down and work hard, and I just hope that Mason Greenwood has got the right people around him within the friend group, the family, and most important, the Manchester United family. This is little. This is minor. You know, there's things that Rooney've done, Keane's done, Giggs has done. They still had great careers at Manchester United. So it's not about that. It is a disappointment. As a Manchester United fan base, we've got to own up. We've got to take it on the chin. It's not about, and I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Wow, you know, Mason's a lad, he's gone out there and done what he's done." I've got no issues with that at all. What he does in his own time is absolutely fine, and I think it's silly of people to start taking pops at the fact that he's had a girl in his room. That's not it. It could have been a pizza delivered to his room by a pizza guy. It's still breaking the quarantine rules, and that's the problem. He knows those rules. He's broke those rules. So's Phil Foden. It's irresponsible. And what you want in a Manchester United player is somebody who's focused on being a Manchester United player and being the best that they're at. So there's an element of growing up there. And I'm sure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows exactly how to deal with this. I feel a little bit sorry for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's got Harry Maguire to deal with, which he will. And now he's got his young best talent to deal with, which he will. But we just need to get a grasp of it. That's all we need to do. Now that we're getting a left-back, so our centre-back chase is over then, looks like, says Vicky. Just get Sancho now and end this horror of a transfer window. I don't think the centre-back chase is necessarily over. Reguilon and Thiago would be good additions. However, clearing the deadwood is crucial, irrespective of incomings, as we have exciting kids in the academy, says Neladre. And I have a feeling Sancho will be done next week, maybe the week after. Reguilon done first this week. Finally, we are rolling. Let's go, says Pete Squire. Well, yeah, let's bring it back to a positive place here. Apparently, Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood have been kicked out of the England squad as well, which, to be honest with you, are you surprised? They've broken the rules. They're going to get kicked out. It's very, very sad because I was looking forward to seeing them play. But that is where we are at with that as well. They will not travel with the rest of the England squad from Iceland to Denmark this afternoon after breaking the bubble in Reykjavik with girls in their room. And Gareth Southgate to confirm this shortly, according to the world press around that. I mean, look, there's jokes like this. Mason Greenwood gets the Ryan Giggs number 11 shirt and within a few days he's embroiled in a sex scandal. But, you know, jokes apart, it's about supporting your players. Of course it is. And I think that, look, I think Harry Maguire's got a real opportunity to use what happened in Greece to prove people wrong. I think Mason Greenwood's got a real opportunity to not do stupid things like this again. And keep doing what he's doing on the pitch, and just, you know, grow up a little bit. You've got a God-given talent. You've got a God-given platform at Manchester United. You've got a fan base that adores you. You know, you don't need to be doing silly, stupid things like that. Live the dream, live the life, and be the world's best player. That's the advice, isn't it, from all of us? Just don't waste this opportunity doing stupid things with your mates like that. You know, grab the opportunity, be professional, grow up, and live your life, and you will be one of the best players in the world. That's all Ollie needs to say to him. And he says, I'd say if you do anything like that again, you're out. You know, you're not out. Not kick him out of Manchester United, but you won't be starting games. Tough love. Which may have been going on in that room. We don't know. Anyway, hi Mark. Do you think there is much in the Fabrizio tweet about Koulibaly? Sancho next would be a good window, says Dasbo09. Well, we'll take a look about that. Let's talk about Sergio Reguilon then, because I did the video this morning and I still don't think we're going to get him, but maybe that's that whole reverse psychology thing here, because there was a report, a couple of people coming out, but there was a report from a journalist close to Sevilla, basically saying that Reguilon will not be going to Sevilla. They've offered 20 million euros, but Manchester United have offered 30, and therefore Manchester United's bid will win. Now that's quite interesting because it knocks Sevilla out of the race. We don't know about anybody else being in the race, and Real Madrid have already got two left backs in Marcelo and Mendy. So it looks good. It looks very good for Manchester United. And as I said before, I'm totally happy if we bring this player in. We desperately need two left-footed left-backs. And we haven't got that. We've got one, Luke Shaw. Williams not left-footed. Delo's not left-footed. We haven't got anybody coming through the youth setup. So we're desperate for a left-footed left-back. That balance is really, really important. So it's looking positive around that, and I expect there to be some conclusion to that this week. And I've even had people messaging me today saying, what was the big news you said that was going to happen at the end of the week? Well, is that not big enough for you? I think everyone was quite excited about what happened with Sergio Reguilon over the weekend, and it may come to fruition over the next few weeks. However, there is also reports from Portugal that Manchester United are looking at Alex Telles, who is Porto's left back. And that it's so far advanced that Manchester United representatives are actually in Portugal at this moment. Now, Telles is a bit older. He's 23. He's got a wand of a left foot. Delivery, takes all the free kicks, all the corners. And he would be a player again that if we weren't in for Sergio Reguilon, people would be like, yeah, let's go get Telles. Let's get him. So I think that I'm not ignoring the Telles comments. I'm working my way through it, actually. And again, I think, you know, if it's Reguilon or it's Telles, do you really care? Are we really going to go down the debate of, oh, I want Telles is better than Reguilon, or I want Reguilon is better than Telles? I think the calibre of those players, the fact that neither of them are British, that we've scouted foreign players again, like we did with Van der Beek and that we did with Bruno, encourages me. So I really don't mind what player we get out of those two players. And also, I must just mention as well, Manchester Evening News are talking about a 21-year-old left-back who plays for Dynamo Kiev called Michaelenko. I don't really know anything about him, so I would lean towards Telles and Reguilon because I've seen more of them. I don't even think I've ever seen that guy play at all, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. But we need a centre-back, but who I can't imagine, says David Collins, and that's the problem. But I would be very happy with those. What I would say is, even though I'm not totally convinced we're going to get Reguilon, by the way, and you know, I feel that, I would like it to happen. Telles, Portuguese outlets, we've been down that road before. So I'd still be like, if anything's going to happen, it's looking like Sergio Reguilon because of what's happening. The interesting thing is the lack of Madrid-based news around Sergio Reguilon, and I'd like to see a little bit of that coming through, and a little bit more from Romano and people like that, just a little bit more. But Reguilon's 23, Telles is 27. I thought I said, have I got that the wrong way around? I know that Telles is 27 and Reguilon's 23, but if I've got those the wrong way around, apologies, I've just mixed up my words. So, I mean, look, a lot of people will go with Reguilon because he's younger, but I would say that Telles may be the better player, but I wouldn't confidently say that because you're talking about the Portuguese league, the Spanish league. Telles is the better, if you're looking for goals and assists, Telles is the better creator. If people want to moan about Luke Shaw's lack of goals and assists, well, Telles is the one who's got out of the three who's the better creator. But obviously Reguilon's younger, and defensively he's probably better, and very mobile, getting back and forth. I'd say Reguilon's probably the one to go for. I don't know what everyone else thinks. I just think that the level of football he's played will be higher than what Telles has played. But, the fact that we're looking at a left-back is very, very interesting, isn't it? Lots of people saying Reguilon's better now. Pau Torres from Villarreal would be a good signing as a left-footed centre-back. And he's pacey as well, says Cyberman. And... I mean, look, a lot of people are saying, the interesting point is, if we buy one of these left-backs, do they start over Luke Shaw? Well, a lot of people would say yes, and that may well be the case, but it could also be like what Man City did with Cancelo. You bring Cancelo in, and he ends up actually being the understudy to Kyle Walker a lot of the time. So, I don't know. And, there's lots of possibilities. I don't think... it's irrelevant. The reality is, the most important thing here is, and it's this. I suppose it's the same with Henderson and De Gea, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with having two quality players in a position, is there? Because it allows, and I think what United really need to be able to do, all this chest banging last year about how many games Harry Maguire's played, and I always thought it was stupidity. People go, Harry Maguire's broken the record for the amount of games played in the Premier League, and I'm like, well, you don't win a title doing that. If anything, he's just going to get worse because he's tired. And I think we saw with Harry Maguire at the end of the season, he started making mistakes. I don't think it's ever a statistic that's that important when a player's, he's played 60 games this year. Wow. Oh, that's great news. I think the ability to be able to interchange players, give players a rest is very important, and hopefully Ollie's working to that. CV Kevin says, I watch Telles every game. He played last year. In my opinion, he's the best left-back in the world, but if we get Reguilon, he's good too. I wouldn't disagree with you on that, Kevin. A lot of people really like Telles. And Reguilon isn't in Zidane's plans. We need this to protect Shaw. We saw how valuable he really is when he was out, says Stephen Alexander B. Reguilon's obviously not in Zidane's plans. He's got Marcelo as a backup. He's got Ferland Mendy as the first left back. Reguilon's been... He's just won the Europa League. He's had a very good season with Sevilla, and Zidane is still like, I'm not really that interested. So it isn't going to happen, is it? I know we shouldn't be doing this as Manchester United, but if we don't get any centre-back, can Shaw play as a centre-back, says Manish. Well, I think he can play that role. I don't know whether he can do it in a back four. He can certainly do it in a back in a back five. Jordan Vlog says that as well. Could we use Luke Shaw there? David Alaba's not going to happen, Shaheen. You're just chucking out a name there that's not going to happen. There's absolutely no point in just talking about left-sided centre-backs that aren't going to happen. We do like to talk about things that actually can happen. So we're going to have to wait and see on this, but I don't think we're going to have to wait and see long. I think Manchester United need to get things moving quickly, and especially in light of the Sancho deal is going to escalate, and I mean, Marca have also come out. Here's an update on Sergio Reguilon. Marca have said that until a decision is made on his future, Reguilon will work at Valdebebas, and Real Madrid's options right now are to make a profit from a sale or loan him back to Sevilla for another year. So Manchester United could get him on a loan to buy, but I mean nobody's really mentioned this. And if you've been watching this channel for a number of years, all the way back to the De Gea thing, we don't have a great relationship with Real Madrid, really. We don't. You know, we really pissed them off with that fax machine. So buying players from Real Madrid, I'm always a little bit like, what is our relationship currently? And, you know, I mean, yeah, look, let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see what happens with it. I'm quite relaxed about it. I think if we can get a left back in, as I said at the weekend, I think a lot of it is to do with the opportunity has arisen, and maybe they're struggling to get left backs in, so the opportunity has arisen for them to go and do it. And yeah, I think that I think it's looking good. It's looking good on a left back at the moment. But as I've said this morning, I'm still not totally convinced that this is going to follow through, but we'll see. There's certainly the right sort of movement. Please smash the like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Maybe we're signing Reguilon to play right wing instead of Sancho, says Robert McCormack. Well, I hope not. But obviously we do have this breaking news around Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden, that they will be kicked out of the England squad for breaking quarantine rules. I'm reluctant to really say why that is, although everyone will want to know that they've had girls in their room, which, you know, a lot of people are going to be going high five about that, and I really don't feel that is the thing to focus on, because it might make people go, oh, good old Mason, he's done it again, he's pulled a corker or whatever like that. The reality is here, I wish they'd gone for a meal deal, like I said, or they'd gone the local cinema, because it's not really about the girls in the room, even though that's what they've done. It's the breaking of the rules. You know, you're on England duty. You're not meant to be interacting or having people in close proximity of you whilst you're on England duty. It's his first time he's been called up to England. He did quite well when he came on in the last few minutes against Iceland. Maybe he was going to get a little bit more against Denmark. And Foden played well against Iceland as well, but he's a Man City player. And now neither of them will play tomorrow night. And that opportunity for them is now clouded by their irresponsibility and stupid behaviour. And that's what annoys me. And I'm sure Manchester United will be annoyed again that yet another player is out of Manchester United doing something that's going to hit the press negatively and bring negativity towards Manchester United. Now, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to do is the same thing he's probably going to do with Harry Maguire, and the same thing we did with David Beckham in '98. And we've done it before with people like Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo and others. We need to create a siege mentality. The press will go in on Manchester United because Manchester United are the biggest club in England. As I said, there needs to be the same graft against Phil Foden as there's going to be against Mason Greenwood, because they're both guilty of what they've done. Manchester United need to create a siege mentality here. Mason Greenwood, Harry Maguire and anybody else who pisses about while they're not as part of the Manchester United setup need to realise the value of the shirt and the value of this club, and that when they damage themselves, they damage this club. And you are living the dream. You are living everybody's dream playing for Manchester United. It is an absolute opportunity, and what a talent you are. Go out there and don't jeopardise the dream that you live in. And look, you know, they're young lads, whether they're 27 or they're 18, they're young lads, and you can get lost in the moment of this, but they're not out on the piss. They're in an England hotel room and they've sneaked girls in. Like sneaking a pizza in or sneaking a delivery guy in for something. They've done something they shouldn't do, and they must be punished and they must be kicked out of the England squad, and it's very, very, very disappointing. But from Manchester United's point of view, we need to get a grip on it. Sir Alex Ferguson did it with Ryan Giggs. Get a grip on it. Keep stuff out of the press. Keep Manchester United Football Club out of the press. And focus on living your best life in a Manchester United shirt and fulfilling that talent of being the best player in the world. Because what I don't want to see happening with a Mason Greenwood is a player that starts to believe his own hype, that becomes a problem and then doesn't fulfill his talent. And I don't think that's going to happen, but it is a danger, of course it is. And, you know, you look at someone like Marcus Rashford, very, very young, and I don't think Rashford's got the talent Mason Greenwood's got. And I think Rashford himself would agree with that. But the way Marcus Rashford conducts himself off the pitch is a star. And I'm sure Mason Greenwood probably likes meeting up with people and having, I don't know whether he drinks or anything like that, but I'm sure he does stuff like any other young lad does. But it doesn't hit the press because he's not breaking rules, he's not doing stuff like that. So learn from it, move on from it. If the press are going to go in on Greenwood, they better bloody well do it to Foden as well, because they're both as bad as each other. And it's disappointing because I was looking forward to seeing him playing for England tomorrow night. And but these things are better. It's relatively minor in relation to things that footballers have done, and the fact that it's happening to him now, maybe it's a good thing as a kick up the backside when he's a little bit younger, so that the rest of his career he's on the ball. At least we get to see Super Jack run the show tomorrow and play his way into a United move, says Robert McCormack. Well, Grealish will benefit from this. Tellez is better than Reguilon, however the latter is better suited to our system as he plays off the ball much more, which is what we need with Rashford, says United Arena. Thank you very much for that. And if that is the real United Arena, we love your stuff on Twitter. Absolutely fantastic. Roy, I mean, to me, everyone knows I'm a big fan of Luke Shaw. So to me, I don't even look at it like they're going to take Luke Shaw's spot. I just think we do need a left back. So I personally welcome a left back of quality to Manchester United because we desperately do need a backup left back. So I think that, to me, I like Tellez. I like the look of Reguilon as well. And I would be very, very happy for either of those two players to come into Manchester United, because again, what it does for me is it shows that we are progressing, and we are looking to be the team that we can do, and evolution, progress is really, really important. And you know what, just as well, I mean, there's this rumour that there's a couple of Man City players that have tested positive for COVID. COVID cases are going up massively in the UK at the moment, and in France and in Italy. So it is very irresponsible what Greenwood and Phil Foden have done. BBC are saying that allegations England, Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood broke quarantine rules in Iceland are being investigated by the FA. The expectation is that they will both be asked to leave the England camp, and Southgate will be talking obviously this afternoon. But I think that's just going to get confirmed, isn't it? Because you know, unless, I mean, the reality is, I've seen the pictures on Twitter of these girls in the hotel room with Foden and Greenwood. They've broken the rules. They've broken the rules, and Southgate will kick them out, because look what happened with Harry Maguire. He's innocent till proven guilty, and he's not even part of the squad. So they will be kicked out. They will be kicked out, definitely. Anyway, look, please smash a like on the video. That's where we are at the moment. Some breaking news at lunchtime. Sevilla outlet saying that Reguilon will be joining Manchester United because Sevilla can't afford it. There's still an option that he could go on loan there, but it's looking good for Manchester United, especially around a left back. Let's see how that develops. I think it's going to be a very busy week, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. Smash a like on the video. We've got an 8 o'clock show tonight. If anything happens before then, obviously we'll be live. But let's just calm down about this Greenwood thing. I think the most important thing now is we get him back to Manchester, and we get him back, within the security of Manchester United Football Club, which is where he's got to learn. And so I've got total confidence that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, having played with Giggs and having seen how Sir Alex Ferguson dealt with Giggs and Rooney and Ronaldo, Ole's going to know what to do with Greenwood. And basically, Greenwood just needs a bit of a kick up the backside. You've been immature, irresponsible, and you've been kicked out of an England squad. That's embarrassing on anybody's footballing career CV. Now, prove the world wrong, get yourself focused, get your head on, start acting like a mature footballer, which is hard at 18, but don't mess up this opportunity, because we'll look after you at Manchester United Football Club, and the fans will back Greenwood, of course we will. But let's not see anything like this stupidity again. Let's learn from it. Let's get out there. Start of the season's coming up very soon and shut everybody up because he's got the talent to do that. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.